Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so now we're going to prepare our apples for, of course, our apple pie. We've got our base in the fridge, cooling down, cooling. That's going to stay basically in there until our apples are done. Might want to put your, if you've got a slow cooker, you might want to put your cooker now on to preheat, because as soon as the apples are done, are stewed and cooked, we are then going to be proceeding to put them into our pie, and of course we're then going to be rolling out our our top. So right now we're going to be focusing, like I said, we're going to be doing the apples. So let's get cracking. So first thing you're going to need is a colander. You're going to need a saucepan like this of hot water, or warm or hot water. It basically helps the apples to stew just a little bit more quicker. So when you put it on the stove, it ain't going to take that long at all. Probably about 15 minutes is more than enough. So what are you going to need now? So now we're going to be doing, like I said, the apples. So we're going to use pink ladies. We're going to use 4 of these, okay? So what we're going to do now is grab an apple. Now I'm not going to show you exactly, like, I'm not going to show you completely, like to peel all these and all that, because I know that's going to take a lot of time, and the whole point of these videos is to show you how easy it is to make. So I'm going to proceed to go and peel one now. If there is any young ones, any young kids making this apple pie, that's great. Welcome aboard. I hope you're enjoying it so far. We are going to be now using sharp knives and sharp things. So please get your mum or your dad or any parent or guardian that you're with to help you with this part, okay? So what you want to do is grab your apple like this, okay? If you can, try and get rid of the core, but it doesn't really matter right now. And what you want to do, I'm going to use a knife, and what I'm going to do is very carefully take off the skin, peel off the skin like this of your apple. Now, in this apple pie, like I said at the beginning, I'm using pink lady apples, okay? You can use any apple you wish. You can use Granny Smith. You can use obviously your regular Branbury eating apples. Now I know apples like that are not all around the world, so basically you want to get either your sweetest apple you can get is ideal, and also you want to, and obviously if you're making a Branbury apple pie, then you want cooking apple just, okay? So we got the apple peeling pretty much just here now. Now after you peeled it, what you want to do next, of course, is you want to remove the core. So the way I do this, hold on, let me just go and get a chopping board. I'll be back there shortly. Hold on. Okay, so we've got the chopping board here now. Just going to move that over there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to now core our apple. So what we want to do is go into the middle. Okay, just like that. And then you might want to cut it again. Okay. And then maybe for another time you can cut that one again like that. So you got like nice even thin pieces just like this, okay? And what you want to do is just turn it to one side and just cut out the core, just like that. And then what you want to do is place it into your water. And then we have it. So I'm going to now go ahead and continue to do this, okay? And then when we are at the cooker and we're cooking the stuff, I will show you what to do next. So see you soon, and we're back shortly. Okay, so as you can see, we now have our apples peeled, cored and sliced into these little chunks. Now we're going to go ahead and cook our thingy. Now, what you're looking for is for the apple pieces to go soft, okay? You don't want them to thingy, and then once they're soft, you start adding the sugar. You start adding sugar to the apples, so that it has that sort of caramelized sort of feel. I'm just going to go get the sugar now. So what we're going to do now is we're just going to add a little bit of sugar on the top. Just like that. There we go. Okay. And what we're going to do is now we're just going to wait until that all dissolves into the apple and the sauce. So that's basically it now. We have to kind of wait until the stuff is cooked, of course. So that basically is it now. So we're going to come back. We'll come back in a moment when the apples are ready, because then we're going to be obviously putting our apple pie properly together. So, okay, ladies and gentlemen, so I thought I'll show you this part. As you can see, our apples are definitely cooking now. I added a couple of extra bits of sugar just to bring it so then it sort of caramelizes a little bit, because when the apples are cooked, you still want the apple pieces to be intact. You don't want them into pulp. What you want to do then is, once you've done that, we're going to sieve it out. So then, but retain the juice, okay? Because we're going to keep the juice and we're actually going to turn it into a kind of like a syrup kind of thing. So, and that's what's going to help us give us this apple pie its flavour. So definitely be that. So I thought I'd just share this with you anyway. It is coming along real nicely, as you can see. And yeah, we'll be back in a moment. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, we've now got our apples all stewed and ready to go. So what we're going to do now, as you can see over here, we're going to now take these apples and we're going to sieve out the juice, because we're going to do something a little different with the juice. So we're going to grab our apples, all nice and stewed, and now we're going to pour them in here. Now, what I did is I added, as I said before, I did add some sugar to the stewed apples, as you can see. And sorry about that, it's a bit smoky. And what we're going to do now is we're going to try and turn this juice, this water juice, into sort of like a kind of like a thick syrup, so we can use it to put on top of our stuff here. So what we're going to do now, okay, is we're going to take off this here. Okay, we're going to put that somewhere else. Our stewed apples are all lovely, ready for an apple pie. We just put it there for a minute. Now we're going to pour this back in. You might want to get a wee sieve, just in case you get any bits. I'm going to move it over to the saucepan. Here we go. So grab a wee sieve, grab your juice, and just sieve it into the bowl, like this. It's okay. Alright, catching any of the bits and pieces that have fallen in there. Alright, and what you're going to do is put your cooker back on. Okay, you're going to put that on like this. Now what you're going to do is you're going to grab some flour, a little bit of flour, a little bit of plain flour we find. Okay, just put that in. You're going to mix that in a moment. And then what you're also going to do is put some sugar in there. Okay, and then you're going to get your spoon, like this, just going to mix it around. So you're creating a wee little bit of a juice kind of deal. And there we have it. So we're going to create a little bit of a juice. We're going to thicken it up a bit, you know, get it a bit thicker. Now maybe a whisk would be better for that. I don't. Right here, just give that a whisk. Now of course you're not going to use all this. It's just to thicken it up. And the apples are looking lovely, by the way. So we're just going to do this. You don't want it too runny. Okay. So if you think it's going to get too runny, you want to add some more more you see how it's forming? How it's sort of getting thicker. That's what you want. You want it a little bit thick like that. Just test it with your spoon, just like. Okay, so now we've got that little bit. We put that to one side a second. We grab our apples because now we are ready to do our finish our apple pie. So hold on there a second and we'll get ready to go with that. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so now we are ready to put our apple pie together in one thing. So what we have here, we have our base, we have our stewed apples, we also have our wee little syrup juice thing, and we've also going to need to create our lid. Also, I'm going to do a glazing of egg just to help cooking process. So, what are we going to do here first? Right, so the first thing we're going to do, I need to grab a spoon here a second, is we're going to place the apples into the tray. Okay, we do that before we add the syrup, because what we want is you want your apple pieces to be evenly spread out. Okay, so grab your apple pieces, just put them everywhere for now, it's okay. And you don't want too much of the syrup either, okay? So just put your apples around just like that. There's always one in there that kind of escapes. You just want to position it so then each side of the pie is covered with apple, really. Here we go. It's nicely sort of evenly spread it out. That was a very soft, nice big chunks as well, which is great. Then what you want to do is grab your broth, grab your little juice like this, and you just want to get something like that. Just pop it over. Okay, that's enough. Now, what we're going to do now is we are now going to put our head on top of our pastry, of our pie. So, what we're going to do now, again, with the pastry, is we are going to put some flour on, lightly flour on the table here. Okay, here we go. Spread it out evenly, it's alright. Perfect. You grab whatever you're using to roll out your pastry. Make sure that's coated with enough flour. And then what you want to do is grab your other part of your pastry. There we go. And then as you can see, we've already got it in a ball. So all we got to do now is pat it down a little. Place it in the middle, like that. Get some flour, put it on the top a little. Get a sprinkle of flour on the top. Again, give your rolling pin or whatever you're using a good dusting. Just proceed to roll out your pastry until you get to your lid. Now, you want a bit of an overhang because you're going to pinch. The two layers together to form. And yeah, this is looking really good, ladies and gentlemen. Looking really tasty. And you can tell everyone you made this yourself. Thanks to StuPot's homemade baking channel. Now, as you can see, it's starting to lift a bit. It's starting to stick. So, if it does that, you just want to just roll it out. Like that. And once again, you just want to check to make sure that is going to cover your tray. Maybe do a little bit more. And there we go. Okay, now that should be enough. So now what you want to do again, just like the last one, is roll your pastry over here. Just put it in the middle like that. Grab your other tray, like this. Lift up the pastry, drag it over, and just proceed to fold in, like that. Don't worry, it's not perfect. There we go. Just put it in like this. And there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. We've now got our pastry on top of our thing. Now, we got the overhang, of course. So we grab our knife again, this, and we proceed to cut the edges, cut around the edges. There we go. Now, what you want to do now, see, got your two pastry bits, you want to crimp them together, like that, like that. Now when this bakes, it basically will close anyway. So we've got that all sorted. There we go. And that is our apple pie. Now what we will do is we'll grab a wee fork. And we'll very lightly score it. Like that. Okay. And then what we're going to do, we're going to put some egg wash on there. There we go. Now I haven't got any things, so I'm going to have to use my fingers. There we go. This is homemade, ladies and gentlemen. You can tell everyone that you made this yourself. How good is that? There we go, just spread that across. Just give it an evenly look around. Do the edges as well. Just give them a bit of a glisten. And there we have it. Now, we're going to bung that in the oven. We'll take around about 20 to 30 minutes or until golden brown. And that's basically it. So when the pie is cooked, we'll get it out of the oven and we'll take a look at the final part. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, as you can see in front of us, we now have a gorgeous, gorgeously cooked, perfect, homemade StuPot's apple pie. Now we're going to let it cool down. Once it's cooled down a bit, we're then going to stick some caster sugar just on the top for just a serving suggestion. and our apple pie will be absolutely mwah. Now, I'm going to put some of the pictures that I've taken from this and put it on my Facebook page. That is www.facebook.com/StuPot's homemade baking. And that's all one word, okay, ladies and gentlemen. It'll be on screen, so you'll be able to follow that. And yeah, and that's it. That's basically our apple pie. So I'd like to say thank you very much for working along with me. If you have, then that's great. I hope you enjoy your apple pie. And this is just a demonstration again on how easy it is to make your very own apple pie. So this is it until next time. Thank you very much for watching. And I'll see you again on the next dish. Until next time, it's goodbye for now. Keep it homemade.